We're told to include sleep and rest as part of our training schedule. But why is that? Well, that's the time that muscles grow, and it's also part of the repair process. Stick around and I'll give you 13 tips of how you can improve your sleep. It's been a heck of a week in the UK with temperatures at the record level of 40 degrees. So sleep has been really quite difficult this week. But it's also really frustrating to think about taking a break when we are on fire in the gym and hitting PBs progressively. But it's super important to stay on plan and take the rest. Overtraining syndrome is stress on the central nervous system caused by training too hard, which not only increases your risk of minor injuries like sprains, but could also mean that you have to take weeks or months away from the gym. Normal training causes microscopic tears in your muscles, which enable your body to become stronger by being more resilient to the stress of training. We've all seen the maxims about muscles are made in the kitchen and the bedroom, and to some degree this is true. Training is obviously the physical stimulus we need, but also need to be allowed rest and nutrition for the recovery to take place. Most of this recovery and growth happens during sleep, in particular during deep sleep. Rest should be about taking a break from heavy training, doing some light recovery, yoga or the foam roller if you have the energy, as well as relaxing, so don't feel guilty. Kick back and watch some Netflix. If you're training with heavy weights, it's best to take 2 days of rest between training the same muscle group. So if you train on consecutive days, you should make sure that these are on different muscles. As we've seen, good sleep hygiene is essential to your exercise and recovery program. And the aim is to make this as consistent as possible. So how much sleep should we be aiming for? Well, that seems to depend on your age group. My aim is to get 7.5 hours per night as a minimum, and I'm pretty consistent with that. I can really tell if I get less or disruptive sleep. Often we can improve our chances of getting consistent good sleep by changing our lifestyle. There are, however, serious sleep disorders that prevent people from getting to sleep, even when they have plenty of time to fit it in. If you think that you may suffer with a sleep condition, you should seek medical advice, and as a starting point I've included an excellent link to the NHS below. Depriving ourselves of sleep increases the levels of the stress hormone cortisol, which impairs our cognition and even our immune system. Lack of sleep can also derail your goals by causing you to pack on weight. Research has shown that people who slept less than 5 hours each night over the course of 3 years were more likely to gain weight and eventually become obese. We need to look deeper than the time we go to bed and the time the alarm goes off in the morning, and more about the quality of sleep we get in between those two times. So you have 8 hours between going to sleep and waking, but if your night has been disrupted, you may not have had enough of the required time in the 4 sleep zones to allow proper rest and recovery. So, if your sleep is so important, what can we do to make sure that we get the very best of it? Set a sleep schedule. We need to make sleep a priority. It's all too easy to just watch one more episode of our favourite show or accept an invitation to go out at the last minute. We should aim to go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, even at the weekends, as studies have shown that this consistency helps long-term sleep quality. The times that you choose should allow a sufficient window of sleep for your age. Try to avoid blue light emitting electronic devices 1 hour before you turn in. Again, you can make this part of your routine in the evening. To put away the phone, turn off the overhead light and the TV and pick up a book with a warm lamp bulb. This is because it suppresses the release of melatonin and throws off your body's biological clock. Inversely, try to get more natural daylight in the day, especially first thing in the morning. There are huge benefits in getting bright daylight first thing in the morning to help set your circadian rhythm for the day. Mostly, try to avoid alcohol. It reduces both the quality and consistency of your sleep. Even a couple of drinks at night can negatively affect your sleep, as it's been shown to increase the symptoms of sleep apnea and snoring, as well as altering nighttime melatonin production. Exercise. Training during the day, at least 2 hours before bedtime, gets your body physically ready for restful sleep. Have a light snack before you turn in. like a spoonful of peanut butter or a bowl of skyr. It stops you getting woken up with a rumbling tummy, especially if you've eaten your last meal a long time before bed. Don't take sleep aids unless you've been prescribed them. The over-the-counter sleep aids might help to catch up on one night's sleep here and there, but it's all too easy to begin to rely on them. Seek medical advice if you are consistently unable to sleep, even when you've had plenty of time to do so. Relax. Engage in a relaxing activity, like a gentle yoga session, a warm bath, reading, light a candle, meditation, anything that could help lower your heart rate. There are now many meditation apps that can contain specific sleep stories. Doing this regularly will help you build your bedtime routine. Get the room at the right temperature, whether you like to be cozy or cool to get your sleep. Make sure your sleep space is in the temperature that you need. This can be very difficult if you share a room with someone who doesn't like the same temperature as you, but it's best to have the room at the coolest temperature and then use blankets to warm up if required. Some people find a fan doubly comforting as it provides a white noise sound too. And if you're getting a fan, you could consider one that purifies the air and takes out small particles. We use a Dyson tower that has pretty hefty filters, as well as monitoring all kinds of air purity. Make your environment as dark as possible. Try and remove all things that have little power lines, which tend to be blue. Getting blackout curtains or blinds, and if this isn't possible, you can just wear a sleep mask. The one I use is by Ostrich Pillow, and I backed it on Kickstarter. Get a good pillow. This can be a make or break for a good night's sleep, and it's one of the things that the revolutionary Sky cycling team did when they were part of their Tour de France victory year, to give them the edge on the other teams. I use a buckwheat pillow, which takes some getting used to, but I love its cool feel and the way that it holds its shape. Sleep audio. As well as the storage style that I've already mentioned, there is also slow wave or white noise style pieces that come in all kinds of devices and apps. This produces a sound that can block out background noises that may otherwise keep you awake. I use the Bose Sleep Buds, which fit in the ear and are comfortable enough to sleep with, and the app controls the sounds that are played. So those are my 13 tips to get great night's sleep and maximise your recovery from training in the gym. If you have any others that you really like or have tried them, please leave them in the comments below.